Dennis coming at you live from St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we're talking 2026 Six Flags season passes. Six Flags parks all across the chain have begun putting out their 2026 season pass information. For the purpose of this video, we're really going to just be talking about my hometown park of Six Flags St. Louis. However, I think a lot of this info will really apply to all Six Flags locations. Prices, though, may vary depending on what your hometown park is, so just keep that in mind. So, going over to the website, if you go to your local website, you go to Six Flags St. Louis's website, you go to Kings Island's website. I don't know if the information's up everywhere yet, but I know like going over to the Six Flags St. Louis website, I see on mine several options. Okay, so first, you'll probably be greeted with an ad advertising some kind of sale for the passes. I know that's what they have up on my website here for St. Louis. Okay, what you want to do though is I recommend scrolling down until you see membership, season passes, daily tickets, and special offers. Click on season passes so you can see what the total price of the pass is. That way you're not just seeing what like the monthly expenses, but how much this costs overall. They're likely going to offer you a payment plan if that's your fancy. Okay, I usually like doing this. I like doing the payment plan. I don't always want to pay all at once. Although the sale is pretty good right now, you might just pay for the whole thing all at once, okay? If you do the payment plan, you have to pay like a $20 fee up front, and then if you're doing the gold pass, you'll do like $5.99 a month for each month after until your pass is paid off. Don't worry, you can still use your pass while you're making payments, okay? Or you could just buy the whole thing at once. Like I said, the gold pass, well, it's normally going for $94, but currently it is on sale for $55 until September 2nd. Which is just a really, really good deal. It's kind of a crazy deal, actually. The Prestige Pass is not on sale and it'll cost $135 overall. The Prestige Pass also can be on a payment plan if that's what you want to do. You got to do $20 up front, and then it looks like for the Prestige Pass, you do $11.99 per month until your pass is paid off. I've not gone through the process of purchasing my pass yet, but I believe there's also like some add-on fees, usually at the end. There's taxes. I think last year when I bought mine, because I did a payment plan, there was like a processing fee or something I had to pay at the end as well. So just be aware there could be a few other little fees they tack on at the end, but still, it's a pretty good deal for the passes. Something else I'm noticing is Six Flags has removed the option to purchase a pass for just Six Flags St. Louis. I don't know if every park did this, but I know my hometown park of Six Flags St. Louis, they would let you buy like a lower tier, like basically a step below the gold pass, and it would just get you in to Six Flags St. Louis. So it was just a pass for the one park, and that was it. It didn't get you into any other parks, but you could go to Six Flags St. Louis as much as you wanted, and I think last year it was around like $65 for the pass. It was like a little more than the price of a ticket. You could upgrade to a pass that would just get you into the park all year long, okay? This year, the gold pass looks to be the least expensive option. I don't know, maybe they'll add the one park pass on later and it's just not on there yet, or maybe they're doing away with it. I'm not really sure, okay? Another big thing for this year is it looks like the gold and prestige pass both come with the all park passport. And this is a pretty huge change from last year. As I remember, I think my gold pass last year was around that $95, $94 point. It was basically $100 for a gold pass. And then I had to pay another $100 to get the all park passport add-on so I can get into all the parks across the country. It seems like they're not doing this anymore. And from what I'm hearing about, like from the other parks and from what other people are talking about the other parks, this is like across the board how they're doing it, where they basically just dropped that option and they're just saying essentially you can get into all of the parks with either of these passes and you don't have to pay like an upgraded fee for it, okay? It also looks like with either the gold or the Prestige Pass, they all come with parking as well. Gold just gives you regular parking in the park, and then the Prestige lets you get Prestige parking, which basically means you can park a little bit closer to the park. I don't really think it's a huge benefit. I guess unless maybe you can't walk long distances or something like that, then maybe it's worth it for that. I don't really see the point of it personally, but hey, to each their own. If you like it, cool. Let's take a look at the benefits to the Gold Pass versus the Prestige Pass, right? What are some of the differences? Okay, so first of all, Gold Pass, what does it come with? Access to all 40 Six Flags parks, unlimited visits now through the end of 2026. You can start using it right away if you want. You get one bonus Bring a Friend ticket, you get free general parking, unlimited access to Six Flags St. Louis and Hurricane Harbor, no blockout dates. It also includes Fright Fest and Kids Boo Fest. You also get 10% off food and merchandise if you're going to buy anything at the parks. You get discount on Bring a Friend tickets, and that's pretty much it as far as what the Gold Pass gets you, which is really all I need personally, okay? I think that's pretty great. If you want to do the Prestige Pass, you get a couple other things with it. You get 2 bonus Bring a Friend tickets, if that's what you need, okay? You get Prestige parking, although you can also use general parking if you want to, but you can park a little closer with the Prestige parking. VIP entrance, which I had to look up what this is because I didn't know this was even a thing. This is not early access to the parks. Essentially, it's just a separate line that you can go to. I know at the start of the day, like if I get to Six Flags St. Louis right when it's opening, even if it's not going to be a busy day, there's a bunch of people standing in queue to get in, and the VIP entrance is just like a separate line that I guess is usually a shorter line because not as many people have Prestige passes, right? So and it only operates for the first 2 hours of the day because it only needs to operate for the first 2 hours of the day because after everybody kind of comes in the first hour, there's usually not a line in front of the park at that point, right? It's like everybody kind of gets in and then we all just kind of meander in after that, all right? Prestige also gets you 1 skip the line pass per visit. That's not bad, actually. It's kind of a nice. And like I said, the 2 Bring a Friend tickets, it's just listed on here twice for some reason. That's why I said it twice, okay? All right. One real important thing to note. This might be the most important thing I'm going to say today because this is kind of a change, especially if you're more on the Cedar Fair legacy side of things. When you buy one of these passes, your first visit, it must be to your hometown park, okay? Before you can go to any other park. You have to activate it at your hometown park. This is a big change for the Cedar Fair stuff. So last year, for example, I bought my pass through Cedar Point, okay? But I didn't have to go to Cedar Point to activate it. I believe I was able to activate it at Six Flags St. Louis. It's not going to work this way this year. So basically, if I purchase a gold pass through Six Flags St. Louis, I have to physically go to Six Flags St. Louis before I can visit any other parks in the chain. If I go to Cedar Point or Kings Island and I'm like, hey, I got this pass, they're going to be like, sorry, you didn't go to Six Flags St. Louis first. It's not activated. You can't use it here yet. So very important that you pay attention to like who or where, I should say, you're purchasing it through and make sure it is your hometown park, the park that's closest to you, and then go to that park first to activate it, and then you can start going to the other parks, okay? So just be aware of that. You have to go to your hometown park first to activate the pass. That's very important. I think Six Flags parks always did it this way, but the Cedar Fair legacy parks, it used to work a little bit differently, okay? Another thing is if you're renewing, because like I was going to renew my pass, but since I bought it through Cedar Point last year, I almost said Cedar Fair, since I bought it through Cedar Point last year, if I renewed it, I believe I would have to actually physically travel to Cedar Point, which is like 8 hours away from me here in St. Louis, before I could actually use it at St. Louis. So I'm going to have to buy a new pass basically this year through St. Louis. That way I can activate it here and then I could use it all over the place like I did last year or for this year, 2025, whatever. So once you go to checkout, they're going to try to upsell you, as they always do. They're going to try to get you to get some add-ons, and you might want to get some of these add-on options. I like to get a couple of them because I do think they're not bad, especially if you're going to go to parks like all season like I do, or, I just do visit after visit after visit. I'm not just going to Six Flags St. Louis. I've been to Worlds of Fun this year and Carowinds and over Georgia and all kinds of places, Cedar Point and Kings Island a bunch of times, okay? So there's add-on options for things like, do you want a drink plan? Do you want a food plan, okay? This year I had the drink plan and the food plan, and I really liked it a lot. I thought it was a good deal. So the big change though is you can now use the drink plan and the food plan at Legacy Six Flags parks and Legacy Cedar Fair parks. In fact, I'm not even seeing those words appear like Legacy Cedar Fair and Legacy Six Flags anywhere attached to any of the stuff where they're trying to sell this stuff to you. I think they're trying to kind of move away from that and just say, hey, we're all Six Flags parks now, okay? They're all part of the Six Flags Corporation now. So if you get a meal plan, you should be able to use it at both parks, which is awesome because my meal plan was for the Cedar Fair side of things. I couldn't actually eat at Six Flags St. Louis unless I wanted to pay the way overpriced amount for the food, which I was not about to do because the food's not even that great at Six Flags St. Louis. Cedar Point was pretty good. Kings Island was pretty good too. So yeah, if you want to get one of those packages though, it looks like now you'll be able to use it at both parks. There are 3 types of meal plans, so know which one you're picking. If you want to eat at any park in the chain, you need to purchase the one that says all parks, okay? Very important. The price of that is $155 to add it to your pass. You will get 2 meals per day. You have to have 4 hours though between each meal. So you can't go with your friend and be like, hey, I'm going to get something and you're going to get something and that's our 2 meals. You have to have 4 hours between the meals, okay? So they kind of make it so really only it's just something you could pretty much use for yourself, okay? Drinks, snacks, desserts, not included. All right. They are very specific types of meals, although it's good stuff. Typically, you're getting like any of the entrees they sell at any of the restaurants and the places, and then a side item with it as well. Okay. And there's always lots of good stuff there. Burger and fries. You know, you go to the barbecue places, you can get, you know, the chicken or the brisket or whatever the heck they have at a side. It's usually pretty good stuff, depending on the park you go to, because the food kind of varies from one place to the next, you know. There are, though, 2 other meal options, okay? And these ones just apply to whatever your hometown park is. So for $69, you can get 1 meal per day at your hometown park at any visit, okay? But it's just 1 meal per day. And then there's an $85 option, which gets you 2 meals per day. Once again, you got to have 4 hours between each meal, okay? But and like I said, both of these just apply to your hometown park. They're not for you to use at any park, just whatever your hometown park is. Something else new is the Six Flags parks will now be offering what I call the Cedar Fair drink plans. Six Flags parks, and I'm assuming they're still going to do this, what they used to like to do is, or really what they have been doing, is they get you to buy one of those big plastic cups, right? And you walk around with it all day, and you got to carry it around with you. But you get refills, and you can pretty much drink as much as you want in the park with it. The Cedar Fair parks, though, would let you have this like paper cup drink plan, which I personally like quite a bit because I don't like carrying the plastic cup around with me all day. I like to be able to kind of go up to the drink station, show them my phone, which has my pass on it, and be like, here, scan this. They give me the cup, the paper cup. I fill it up. I get my drink. I drink it, and I throw the cup away. Okay, and then 15 minutes later, you can get another drink. So if you get the paper cup drink option, essentially every 15 minutes, you can get a drink, okay? They have 2 tiers for this. There's a $36.99 option, which lets you get soda, or like I usually get water a lot of times. It's so dang hot when I'm there. But basically every 15 minutes you can get a 16-ounce drink, soda or water, okay? And it's every 15 minutes you can use it. Then there's an upgraded version for $53.99, and that'll let you get soda, icy, hot coffee, or hot chocolate, okay? And I do not think it includes, though, like any specialty drinks around the park. So if you like, I know like Cedar Point has a Starbucks in it, right? I don't think you could get coffee at the Starbucks with this there. I think it's just certain things. Like I think the Smokehouse at Cedar Point offers coffee in it. There's a few other places that do as well, okay? So basically, if it's like a coffee or a hot chocolate drink that's offered in one of like the normal restaurants in the place, I believe that's where you can use that. And then of course the icy option as well, which is nice. I like to get an icy on occasion. And like this year I had just the soda option, and I kind of wished I had gotten the upgraded one. I might get the $53 one this go round just because I like to get an icy on occasion, and I love to get coffee, especially earlier in the day. I need me coffee, okay? I need me coffee. Very important, all right? So like I said, 2025, I had the $36.99 option. Probably I'll upgrade though to the next one. I really do like the paper cup option, and I'm glad they're bringing this over to the Six Flags Legacy parks, just because, like I said, I don't like carrying that plastic cup around with me all day. I just find it cumbersome. It's like I don't need one more thing to carry. I already got enough crap on me when I'm going to a park. I don't need one more thing. All right, well, I think I covered just about everything today other than like fast lane, skip the line options, which I'm just not going to get into. Personally, like I said, I think I'm going to pick up a gold pass. I think I'm going to get the all park meal plan, and I'm probably going to get that upgraded drink plan options, which will let me get coffee and ices. That sounds good. Okay. Do you intend to buy a Six Flags pass for the 2026 season? If so, which version will you get, gold or prestige? Remember, the gold price will increase on September 2nd. So this sale is only going on for like the next month or so. So now is the time to pick it up if you're going to get one of these. Take advantage. Do it now. Do it. I'm not getting paid anything by Six Flags, but if you're going to do it now, man. Save yourself some money. All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all later.